Hello everyone, it's Nicole Steele of thejoyfulstamper.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to share a die cutting tip with you. So, if you have seen any projects or even ordered the Ornate Garden Suite collection from Stampin' Up!, you will notice that the dies are very detailed. So this is the Ornate layers dies, and you can see how much fine detail is in all of these little frames here. Lot of little paper pieces, and even in the Ornate Borders dies there's a lot of little detailed cutouts also. So you can die cut them, and you can sit there with your take your pick tool and poke them out, or even use the brush if you want to brush out those pieces. But there's an easier way to get those little pieces out, most if not all of them, and I'm going to show you them with both of these die sets. So you take your die cutting machine. I happen to have a Cuttlebug, which Provocraft stopped making about a year ago, but I've had this machine for about 17 years now. It's still going strong, so that's why I love it and I use it. But you can use any die cutting machine. You can use a Big Shot. I don't know what some of the other ones are because, like I said, I've stuck with my Cuttlebug for 17 years. Doesn't matter though. You're going to take your plates, and the sandwich is mostly the same for most die cutting machines. You have a thicker base plate that you're going to lay down, and then you have a thinner bottom plate. Now here's the trick. Take an unused dryer sheet, and when I say unused, I mean you haven't used it in your dryer. You can reuse it over and over again for this trick, but make sure you haven't used it in your dryer. And you can get a box of these at the Dollar Tree for about, for $1, and you get maybe 50 or 60 of them in there. Doesn't matter if they're scented or unscented, but lay that dryer sheet on your plate. Then you are going to take your cardstock and lay it on top of the dryer sheet. Then take your die and lay it with the cutting side down on your piece of cardstock. Then take your top plate and lay it on top of that whole sandwich. And now I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. Okay, and I like to run mine back and forth just to ensure I get a good cut. Take off that top plate, remove the metal die, and you can see it cut that image. And now I'm just going to peel this piece off, and it has left most of the little pieces behind on this dryer sheet. They stuck to it. And there might be a couple pieces that still remain, but those are easy to get off. How simple is that, guys? You just peel it right off of that dryer sheet. Voila! So that was the Ornate Borders die that I used that example with. Now we'll try it with the Ornate Frames dies, or the Ornate Layers dies, excuse me. Let me shake these pieces out, and I'll show you that you can reuse this. You can reuse the dryer sheets. So I'm just going to flip it over to the other side, and in this instance, I'm going to use this frame right here. I'll get my piece of cardstock, lay it on top of the dryer sheet, take my die and put it cut side down on top of the cardstock. Then I'll take my top plate and lay that on top to create the sandwich, and I'll run it through my die cut machine. And then I'm going to run it back through again. Now, depending on your die cut machine, you may need to put, fold 2 pieces of dryer sheets together just to get the proper pressure that will cut it. Okay, and I'm going to peel off that piece. And now I'm going to peel my frame away. And can you see how it's leaving behind all those little bits and pieces? Yeah, so see how most of those are left behind on that dryer sheet there. And there's only a few that are in here, and you can just give it a little wiggle, or you can take your little piercer and pokey tool, or brush even, to get the rest of those out. But how much better is it leaving behind just those couple pieces than having to sit there and poke all of them out? Most of it is left behind on this dryer sheet for $1 at the Dollar Tree, right? Well, I hope you like this stamping tip from Nicole Steele, the Joyful Stamper. I hope it makes your Ornate layers and borders dies much easier and more pleasant to use. If you would like more stamping tips and tricks and free tutorials, head to my blog, thejoyfulstamper.com. And if you need any crafting supplies or stamping supplies at all, I would so appreciate you choosing me as your demonstrator and shopping at my store, shopwithnicole.stampinup.net. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you later. Bye!